Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. It's another hot day here in the Atlanta area. We are not measuring the temperature here right now by K Kelvin, F Fahrenheit, or C Celsius. No KFC, so no chicken either as far as a temperature scale. I believe right now we're measuring the temperature in AFs. Make of that what you will. So, we're finally going to get a chance to take a look here and in the next episode at the last 4 items to come from the UK for the release of The Rise of Skywalker. It's been a while. We've done a huge blitz of coverage of Rise of Skywalker and Skywalker Saga stuff, but there were still a few things that still had not arrived for me as of the last time I recorded. Now, in recording another big blitz of episodes, all with a Spider-Man shirt apparently here, we're finally going to get a chance to take a look at those and more in this next giant run here, hopefully, of episodes, as long as my voice holds out and I don't die of the heat. So, you may recall that Zavvi in the UK decided to sort of get into the super duper fancy schmancy steelbook business this time around, because instead of just having a regular limited edition steelbook or pair of limited edition steelbooks, one that was Blu-ray 3D and Blu-ray, and the other that was Ultra HD Blu-ray, right, 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray, they decided to also do another pair that they called collector's editions instead of limited editions. And these were going to have extra packaging, extra little goodies inside, a little more in line perhaps with what you might see out of something like Blue Fans in China or Nova Media or Kimchi DVD perhaps over in South Korea. And it turned out pretty well. They were delayed and delayed and delayed, and there was some question as to whether they would ever get made. Turns out, I will eat my words, they actually did finally get made, actually did finally ship. It was a couple months late, but they did finally wind up arriving. So, we're going to take a look at both here, and they are exactly what you would expect from basically a fancier package on an existing steelbook. So we're going to see that they are the same UK steelbooks we saw before, where one of them is Blu-ray 3D and Blu-ray, the other is 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and Blu-ray, but there's extra stuff around them that makes them these collector's editions. And they have something in common with the Seasons 1 through 5 collector's edition of the Clone Wars from back in 2013, in that the outer packaging is identical regardless of format, making it impossible to tell which is which once you take the J cards off unless you open them. So, let's take a look at the first. This is that collector's edition from Zavvi. Now, these are sometimes packaged with Kylo Ren facing the front, right? Kylo Ren with his reforged helmet, the First Order symbol there. Kind of cool looking, almost coat of arms kind of looking here. The other side is a First Order Stormtrooper. Says Dark Side underneath. And those 4 First Order symbols there. Very cool looking. Sometimes they're packaged with the J cards so that this side is facing out, sometimes with this side facing out. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, so we don't really know which is the front and which is the back. I would assume the part with the words is the front? Maybe? But wouldn't it make sense for Kylo to be the one standing out? So who freaking knows? The spine here on both sides has Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Collector's Edition, and then a First Order symbol. The top has the First Order symbol with Collector's Edition. The bottom here has your legalese and copyright date and whatnot here on the bottom. Okay? Now what this is it's a metal kind of case here, and you will pop this top off very carefully. And inside, turns out this is the 4K one, inside you've got this container that has Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Nothing on any of the other sides here. And inside, the first thing you've got, the biggest thing you've got, is the actual steelbook with its original J card in it. We've looked at this before from the UK. There's no need to look at this again. Packed in the same slot as that is a set of art cards. Kylo Ren, Stormtrooper, 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 and Kylo Ren again. 4 art cards. The back, Stormtroopers there with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, legalese, StarWars.com, copyright Lucasfilm, and so on. Right? The backs are all the same for those. Okay? And there's a smaller slot that has a foam piece that pulls out. And this has your enamel pins of the cover art, basically. Kylo Ren and Stormtrooper, albeit with the Stormtrooper not having the symbols quite around it because it's got the divots there rather than the actual symbols. But very similar to the cover art there. Very nice looking. As for how they're packed, you basically have the steelbook in sort of a wide section, the little foam part with the enamel pins in a wide section, and then a little thin section here to hold the art cards. Now, interestingly, whereas 4K a lot of times in the UK has that lip that goes over the top on the J card, the J card for this, when you buy it, is just this. Okay? So it'd be sitting on there kind of like so, and it's just basically paper. It's not, you know, thick cardboard, cardstock like we're used to. The other one, which again looks identical and has identical art cards, identical enamel pins, has, you guessed it, because I already said it, the 3D steelbook, also within its J card here. And again, it's J card on the outside packaging, just flimsy paper, basically. So 2 steelbooks that we've already seen as limited editions, given pins, art cards, and a fancy metal case around them to create the collector's editions, which again are indistinguishable when they are closed without their J cards. Okay? Very nice looking though, pretty cool. I'm hoping, I guess, that Zavvi continues to do this, but if they're going to continue to do this, I really hope that they get their act together so there's not the manufacturing issues that delayed these, because a lot of people were pissed off because they set aside getting a regular Blu-ray 3D release from the UK or the limited edition steelbook with a 3D copy, and were waiting on this to be their one way of getting a 3D copy of the film, and then had it delayed a couple of months, which is already weeks later in the initial release time window than when the US got their stuff, and then waiting on it to make its way across the ocean and everything to the US market for the US collectors trying to get these. But very nice, pretty sweet looking. Kind of wish there was a way to distinguish between the two and they weren't just identical, but then again the steelbooks minus the J cards are identical too, so I guess maybe that was asking a little too much. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.